Welcome back to the Manor, Julian McBain here, and this is me really hoping my microphone is doing what it's supposed to again. Now it's really quiet. Test. That might be a touch loud. Test. Okay, so here's what my hope is. My hope is that the microphone is good for everyone. It sounds acceptable on my laptop. I apologize if it's not my usual quality. But what I'll do is I will spend some time futzing with it over the weekend so that for Tuesday's stream it'll be a lot better. Recite something? Okay, okay, so Kat is messaging me on Facebook to help me with the mic check, just so everyone wonders who I'm talking to. And she has just told me to recite something, so we'll go with, oh, a young boy high on the battlement stood as he... Actually, you know what, I did that last week, so we'll go with, Hearken to me, there's a tale I would tell you of love and of battle, of sorrow and grief. Better? Good. Okay. I don't know what happened with my mic. The whole mess that was that last 15-minute live stream has been put to private and is probably going to find itself in the bin here pretty quick, but I'm not going to take the time to do that now. So welcome to the Manor. If you're new to the channel, please take a minute and subscribe down below. I promise OBS does not screw with my settings that often. It happens about once every 6 months. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Alright, we are back on the road to migration, and hoping that I can get through all 30,000 kill points before the 28th of August, because regardless of whether migration's over, on the 28th of August my live stream is going to be in Virtueverse doing their dungeon system, because it'll be the backers test, and I only get it for the weekend, so I need to make sure that I am doing what I can for that group. Full disclosure, I am a backer of Virtueverse, if you hadn't guessed by me saying it was a backer test, so I do back them. Much as some people back me, so I want to give a shout out to my patrons. They would be Red Kryptonite and Jason Lambertson and Game Citizen. Thank you so much for your support. And I want to give a shout out to Kat as well for helping me with my mic. Alright. So I was starting to get people in here before the mic decided to, well, the mic crapped out to begin with, but before everyone notified me that my mic crapped out. Who do we got in here right now? Now, of course, I got a global. I got a global when my mic was crappy. It was my very first loot of the night. And I can't even save it for posterity because I'm too embarrassed about the audio. That's okay. We'll get another one. We'll just cycle this in and that'll help us get another one. That's my theory and I'm sticking to it. Hey, Kenrick, yes, thank you as well. And because between you, Kat, and Dr. Boomstick, y'all set me to rights. Otherwise, I would have gone that whole stream sounding like I was talking through a freaking 1970s filter. Did Boomstick come back? That's okay. Alright, let's see what trouble we can get into tonight. Other than, you know, broken microphones. My hope is that I can break 18,000 points before 10:30. Which I hadn't planned on extending tonight, but with the false start there, I might extend it out. Hey Jay. Thanks for joining us. You just missed the adventure of crappy microphone. You know, at some point I should probably just do the outpost mission for people to watch, but I've done it so many times. Yay, rank increase. Out of range? No, don't. No, for Pete's sake. I want to hit the big long tooth. No, let's hit the chicken instead. Not even mutated Chirpy. Come on. Ah, okay. Hopefully that didn't scare away potential viewers for later. Speaking of which, we just got a rank here. And it looks like we're doing, it's an anatomy athletics one, so we are going to go with athletics. And that increased our hit points to 170, which means it's going to be 158 core. What's my core attribute? 158, because I'm wearing a 12 point a ring that gives me 12 extra hit points. No, not the damn chicken. I wish it would just shoot what I'm pointing at rather than snapping to whatever it damn well pleases. So how's everyone this evening? Running out of things to hunt. There they are. Of course, there's 30,000 chickens in the way. I'm hoping that they end up on the migration trail here. God damn it, I knew that was going to happen too. I fell for it, I fall for it every time. Because Mindark wants me killing chickens instead of Longtooth. Great, I just contributed plenty to the tier. Yeah, that's fair, Jay. Shrug? Okay, that's fair too, Kenrick. It's Friday, we should all be at least a little happy. I mean, yeah, we can't watch, you know, Family Matters or Sabrina the Teenage Witch anymore, but we can enjoy the fact that the weekend's here. Although I guess you can watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch again. Didn't they do a remake of that? It was supposed to be like super dark. Maybe not. Oh, it's terrible? Good to know. Then I guess I won't watch it. I had heard it was out there. I heard there was some drama over the statue, which I actually found kind of amusing. But I wasn't sure if it would be worth watching. If you're saying it, avoid at all. Okay, yeah. If you're saying avoid at all costs, then I'm gonna take that at face value. Hey, Bill. We're just finally getting started. We had some technical issues at the beginning of the stream. We had to start it over. But welcome. Just getting into the, or I should say getting through migration. Got about 15 days left. I think the next version update will be the end of migration. I think that's due for the 31st of August. I think. Well, I'm glad you could join us tonight, Bill. So, Bill, are you a truck driver, or do you do other over-the-road, like over-the-road sales or stuff like that? Oh yeah, Mind Force is. I actually prefer Mind Force over the rifle, which is funny because my rifle skill way outweighs my Mind Force skill, but. I like its versatility and the fact that they all interlink, so some of the skill points I get for doing attacks Mind Force skills translate to my healing Mind Force skill and help me out there, so... Okay, yeah, over-the-road trucker. That is not an easy life. So you have my respect, Bill. My old man did it for years. I'm kind of surprised you only get to play on Thursday and Friday. Do truck stops not have Wi-Fi? I thought a lot of the truck stops have Wi-Fi now for their truckers. Although depending on where you have to park, it may not have range all the way out to your rig. And to be fair, the connection may not be strong enough for something like an Entropia universe. Yeah, that's the truth. Oh. Okay. Yep, that is fair. That is rough, though. That is rough. Yeah, if those wheels are rolling just about 24 hours a day and you have a what is it, an 11-hour drive, 14-hour duty day, because I think you guys can drive 11 hours in a stretch now, that truck can be rolling 22 hours a day. You could, yeah, I could see you making it to Florida and from Idaho to Florida and back in a week. It's a rough week, but I can see you doing it. Yeah, that makes sense. All right. Thank you everyone for joining us. Which means it's about an 80-hour trek, both round trip. So I want to thank everyone for joining us. I see that we have 6 in the channel now. If everyone could just do me a favor, if you haven't yet, just hit that thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Oh, I do appreciate you joining me, Bill. Thank you so much. All right. There we go. My hope is we get another global. I think what I'll do is I'll rename the messed up live stream something like mic check, just so y'all can see that I did in fact start my night out with a global, which was fantastic. It was like 120 something ped. And then I swapped out to a my lifesteal amp. The beta died, so I swapped it out for another delta, which they're actually not bad. They're only 38 ped on open market, which I mean for a 10 ped object at TT value, but they last forever. And fact of the matter is I practically never have to heal as long as I'm using one. Because of the increased evade, my expenses on my armor goes down. So, although this guy's just like hitting me for everything. Oh, cool, Bill. That's awesome. Let me know when you start producing videos and I'll go and subscribe. All right. Finally broke 17,000 kill points. We're making it. Ugh, talk about a grind. But you know, that's kind of the way. That's kind of what the game's about, right? You know, Big Industries is out there saying embrace the grind, and And it's true, you really should embrace the grind. Because it's through the grind that we achieve what it is we set out to achieve. And Bill, that's why I put out all raw. Not saying editing's bad, it's actually better, but I can't. I do not have the skill. Okay. At least I grabbed the long tooth instead of a chicken. I'd like to know where all the 14s went, although I guess I'm at the point where I should start hunting 16s. My loot's getting better with them, which means my looter skills finally caught up, which makes me happy. It really does. In fact, we're going to down a loot pill as soon as I'm done here. We're gonna pop some drugs. It's a good thing I'm not monetized, because that would have just killed this video. Yeah, no kidding, right, Jay? An Entropia and Calypso. Game grind you. That was a terrible Russian accent. Let me try that again. Different mafia run train, different... Okay. An Entropia Calypso. Game grind you. And then come chickens, I know like. Big space chickens come after me, they make my day annoying. See, here comes another one. Why do I need to deal with space chickens? I don't want to deal with space chickens. I want to kill Longtooth. I really hope my Russian accent isn't so bad that I'm offending people. I just lost a viewer. Okay, that's fair. I'll stop. You know, it's funny, I was actually talking with my son Snack Eater, and well, I'm not afraid of Russian hackers. But here's the thing, like, as much as I may or may not be a fan of the Russian government, which I'm really not, Russians are awesome. Like, every Russian I've ever met has been fantastic. So, I really don't want to upset Russian people as a demographic. Now, I remember this is actually one of my favorite stories. Once, and I was between girlfriends, but I had like just broken up with the girlfriend I'd just broken up with, and a Russian lady walks in. She needs help with her account. I was working at the bank at the time, and I help her through the whole thing. I'm using Google Translate to help to communicate with her. She thought that was awesome. So we get through it all, and she offered to introduce me to someone. She asked if I was single, and I kind of, apprehensively, I'm like, yeah, I'm single. And she goes, you want me to introduce you to someone? And she had because I was 32 at the time, she had a 28-year-old Russian friend that she thought would be a fantastic fit. And I'm like, I appreciate it, but I'm not ready. Just wonderful people. Wonderful, wonderful people. And then another person I knew in that same area, because I was still living in North Dakota, we called him Tim. His name was Timofey. To this day, I cannot pronounce his last name properly, and that really actually kind of bothers me. Not that I'd say it on stream, but I never could pronounce it properly. Apparently, and I don't know if this is just an expat thing, but apparently in that area, all of the Russian expats, of which apparently there were more than I thought there were, tended to crash each other's parties. It's like, oh yeah, there's a wedding. I'm like, oh, are you a friend of the bride or the groom? And he goes, nah, it's just a Russian wedding. We're going to go crash it. What? He goes, yeah, that's something we do. Okay. That's just something they do. So yeah, no, it's definitely not in the realm of me being afraid of Russian hackers. I mean, seriously, what are they going to grab off my computer? 90% of the hard drive space that's taken up is taken up in game installations. What are they going to do? Copy my save file data? I'm sure that'll be the intelligence breakthrough of all time. I mean, yeah, I've got some intellectual property there that I want protected, but it's not groundbreaking. I'd be irritated, but I wouldn't be devastated. This is the R Matrix LB35. No, don't. God bless it. I've been Really? I've been doing that all night too. I went to restart my computer. I ended up shutting it down. So here we are. It's the R Matrix LB35. So it's got the 55 to 110. I'm well outside of the learning period for it. I'm probably getting close to being able to use the LB40. I've also got it amped up with the M Matrix Delta, which gives me the increased evade and dodge plus the increased critical damage. And the 8% lifesteal, and then the melee trauma amplifier 4, which increases my damage by 20 points. And it's all electric. So, good stuff. That's fair. The thing about the Katsuichi series, because I've got a Katsuichi Honor right here. It's got really good efficiency, which I can't wait till I'm to the point where I can use it, but look at the level difference and look where the damage difference is. Like if I strike and it's below 56, I'm just wasting ped. And so, I mean, I could amp it up and that'll help, but it's really, its max efficiency is really at level 100. So when I make level 100, when I'm doing hunts of appropriately leveled mobs, I'll definitely be using it. I'll amp it up properly. But until then, I'm gonna resist the urge to do so. Whoa, that was some lag. No, give me the sword, please. Thank you. I am both excited and apprehensive about moving up to the LB40, because these 35s are already pretty expensive. They're like 86 pet a piece. Now, of course, I get the majority, if not all of it, back in loot, but yeesh. That's still a good chunk. So, Bill, do you just make weapons for yourself, or are you a career crafter? Oh, I heard about the cleric knives. I think they were pretty popular back in the day, weren't they? Jeez, 2 criticals there, Longtooth. Did Mindark finally get tired of my shit and decide they need to kill me to put me in my place? How are we doing? We're doing okay. I think my loot pool has diminished because we have the skill bump on. That's the auto loot. That's the regen. Protection. There it is, the skill gain. Either that or maybe they're gearing up for a Hoff. That would be awesome. Okay, so you make all your weapons. I wish I could claim I've mastered something in this game, but I really haven't. Alright. Oh, hi. Just tell me you're not Fred. Okay, you're not Fred. Honestly, if I was Fred, you would have killed me with one shot. For those of you who have never been out this way, old Fred is a Longtooth that's level 516. And he has a tendency to just hang out with low-level Longtooth. So when you're hunting Longtooth during migration, you really want to keep an eye out for him. Thankfully, I haven't had a run-in with him, although I've spotted him. There we go. Whoop. It's a quiet night tonight. You know, that's not a bad thing, though. I think we all... Sometimes we get going on stuff and we run around and we, you know, we grind away, and we should be grinding away. That's how we succeed at life, is we find a goal and we grind until we get there, and then once you achieve that, you find the next goal and you do the same thing, rinse and repeat. But you can't forget to just, once in a while, take a moment to reset, refresh your batteries. I think that's something that a lot of us forget to do. Like, I had the ability, because my son's on school vacation, I took a few days off this week and I was able to reset my batteries, and I haven't done that since February. For a number of reasons, not the least of which is the pandemic, but to be able to just take like 3 days and enjoy life with him and just kind of reset. I mean, going into work, even though the last 2 days were probably the busiest days I've had in weeks, it wasn't nearly as stressful as it would have been had I not had that reset period. And so this is, as much as I harp on, you know, keep at it, push, 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 grind away, keep it going, don't give up, don't stop, don't slow down. Well, yes, for the most part that is still true. But you have to remember that your health is a thing, and so you're not going to lose ground in most cases if you take a couple of vacation days. I'm not someone who likes the idea of taking like a whole week unless you've got something special going on, like a wedding or an event or a trip you're going to go to or something like that. That makes sense, but the binge traveling never made a lot of sense to me, because by the time you get back from your vacation, you're more tired than you started. But to just take a couple extra days at home, you know, because your weekend routine is usually filled up with cleaning and laundry and making sure that everything's ready for the next week, and errands and chores and lawn care and garbage. And no, you want to have those, you know, that extra day or two to just kind of recharge your batteries, spend some quality time with your family. And that's what it should be all about. And then you go back and you hit it like a hammer. And it was interesting to take those days, because like I said, I don't take vacations very often, and this time it was the first time I'd really taken one in a while. I had no obligations. And, well, no, because I took one last August. I flew down to Texas and spent some really nice quiet time there, but just to stay at home. So like there was no travel, there was no stress. It was really nice to have that. It was really nice to have that. And it occurred to me that once in a while you need that reset, because that's how you keep your batteries charged. Okay, who we got here in the chat? Jay, I know you're here. Kenrick, I know you're here. Kat, I know you're here. And I know Bill just stepped away. Who else is there working? You know what it is? It's quiet tonight because I haven't started talking about food. That's all it is. Um, Although I can take a moment now and just say that I think that's one thing that Entropia Universe has really missed the bus on, is food. That is how you get whispers to appear. That is definitely how you get whispers to appear. But on the subject of food, since I brought it up, I just want to know, hang on, sidetrack. I want to know what I did to actually increase my captain profession by 1/100th of a point. We're not in a ship, we're not in space, which I would not live stream space anyway because I'd be asking to get pirated. But, not that I'm complaining, but I'm just confused. But I think Entropia Universe, the Mind Arc missed the bus on food. And what I mean by that is, a lot of MMOs use food as a way to buff players. And Delusionist goes into this quite a bit, and I don't know which video he did it. It was either when he was trolling Ubers or if he was at Orthos. Go check out his channel. He hasn't produced content in a long time, but the content he has is awesome. But his channel is called Zenexion. But it's like, why can't we harvest, like, you can harvest meat on Cyrene, but you can't do anything with it. It's like, why can't I, like, harvest meat off these Longtooth and then set up a barbecue or something in my in an apartment if you have one, or at your house if you have one, or set up a campfire and cook the meat, and then the meat's good for buffs, you know, small things it could be. It doesn't even have to be huge, you know, 1% critical chance, a little added strength for a period of time, extra carry weight for a period of time. You know, it doesn't take a huge amount. And that was something that always kind of miffed me about Mind Arc, why they didn't do that. Because there's great opportunities, and players eat that up. Just like fishing. If you make an MMO, you want to draw players in, have a fishing mini game. Don't know why. You know, the number of hours I've put into fishing in World of Warcraft to gather food, to gather mats to make food for dungeon runs. Like, my ex-girlfriend and I, we would sit there in WoW for hours and we just fish. We'd be in a party. I'm a Death Knight in that, or I was a Death Knight in that game. So, Death Knights have Ice Walk, which means that they basically freeze the water immediately underneath them, and then any party members can walk across it. So we'd be there sitting on top of the water just fishing. It was actually pretty hilarious. And then when we gathered all the fish we needed for the mats, we'd go back and cook them. But, you know, those two things are things that Mind Arc has just studiously avoided, and I'm curious as to why they decided to do so. You know, maybe it's because they felt it was too much of... Well, no, they can't even be too much of a trope, because Entropia Universe came out before all the other games. Well, not all of them, but a majority of the other games. Oh well, maybe one of the planet partners will introduce it, much to Mind Arc's chagrin, and we'll end up with both of those. Although, Next Island is coming out with some really cool shit. They've got a Treem, or Treame. It's the long Greek boats where they had all the oars and guns on the side. You're going to be able to pick one up on Next Island. They haven't announced how they're going to do it. I think it's going to be crafted, but it's not going to be part of the random blueprint drops. I guess there's going to be some other method to get it from quests or whatever. And so I'm actually looking forward to that. I'm going to have to take a trip there. I mentioned that before, but that just blew me away that they're putting out this beast of a boat. And there aren't many boats in EU. I mean, they exist, and some of the older videos you'll see people tooling around on their boats. And people used to do it just to hang out. They, you know, 4 avatars would jump in a virtual boat and just go for a boat ride. But this thing looks awesome. And it includes gun hard points and everything, so you'll be able to fight each other out in the water. So I'm really looking forward to it. Now the question is will the aquatic fauna on Next Island attack the boat? Because vehicle weapons can't attack mobs. They're pretty much strictly PvP only. Which was always kind of an oddity in my book. It's like, why would you restrict this to PvP only? But then I guess it kind of makes sense because the power behind those guns is so high. You just lay waste to mobs that are way above your level. And that sounds cool, except the game balance really relies upon you hunting things that are within your hunter level and your loot level, because if you overshoot your loot level, your return on that kill is going to be nothing comparatively. So I think they did it to balance out the Ludius algorithm, although from what I understand it does predate Loot 2.0. They still needed to maintain that balance. So that would be my guess. But if you're going to have a vehicle that's on the water and there's aggressive mobs in the water, because that's what Next Island has, my hope would be that there's some way to counteract that. And I don't know if that's the case yet. The Next Island dev wasn't specific on it, but that doesn't mean they haven't accounted for it. It just means that we didn't ask the question, which is true. We never asked the question, which is kind of silly now that I think of it a week later. C'est la guerre. Ouch. And we get another skill boost. Blade skill gain for 10 minutes. Not gonna complain. Wow. Oh no, we're okay. I forgot I converted all that ammo. I'm like, what happened to all my shrapnel? No, I converted it. It's cool. We're good. That's okay, Bill. No problem. So far, we're having a pretty decent hunt. Loot is okay. Definitely had worse nights. Although compared to my last stream, it's not great. We were crushing it on Tuesday. Just crushing. Oh, that wasn't bad. 13. You know what I think it is? You know what I think it is? I think it's because I stopped drinking for a while. That's what it is. It's like my good luck charm is a glass of scotch. And I ain't had any scotch all week. But that's okay. Hey y'all, if you could do me a favor, for those of you who are here who haven't done so yet, would you please smash the like button? Or, you know, if you don't want to break your computer or phone, just give it a light tap. It really helps me out. And then if you enjoy what I do, please consider sharing the video or subscribing if you haven't yet already. And your support is appreciated. I really do appreciate the support. Yes, Bill, all of my videos are just straight run. I don't do any editing at all. I have 1 or 2 videos where something happened where I had to do a jump cut, like something on the back end crashed, or like the game crashed, and you'll see a jump cut. But I've only done that like once, and that was pretty early on. I don't like doing that. I much prefer to have just raw content. Because if I screw up bad enough to need to edit it, and I'm not talking about videos that are designed to be edited, there's plenty of those out there. I know people who do clips, and they'll edit them together, or if they're looking to make like a specific content, like they're shaping it around a mission, you know, all that makes sense. Or if they're just looking to do highlights, that makes sense too. But I don't have that skill, and so I feel that in order to get really how I'm playing in the most authentic I can be personally, I just do raw content. And if I feel that it's not reflective of what I want on the channel, I just nuke the whole vid. You know, I would be very curious as to the evolutionary background of these Exarosaurs. I mean, yeah, they're long-toothed, but they're long-toothed Exaros, Xenoexarosaurs is the full name for them. Avoidance. When did I get avoidance? It's like Matrix dodging bullets. I love it. That's what that skill is. Global 109. That is beautiful. Thank you, Mindark. Woot! 2 globals. We have Scratchy Global and we have Good Global. That's actually a good sign, though. It means we're doing pretty good. And that only put me back above 900 pet in ammo. Pretty easy. Come on. Down you go. Thank you. Sometimes you just have to convince them to just give up that last hit point. I've had a couple where you'll get them down to like 1 strike, and then they'll just evade like 5 or 6 times in a row, and it's like, really? Old enough to have watched it, but never have. I've never seen Apocalypse Now. Just never was on my radar. Or I should say, I knew of the movie, it just never interested me. All right. All right, Bill, I might have to do that. There we go. 17,350. Let's see. I don't know that I'm going to make it to 18,000 tonight, but let's see if we can't make it to 17,500. Got about 15 minutes left on the stream. I think that's achievable. That's alright, Boomstick. Well, for the time being, this is as good as it's going to get. I got my gain turned all the way down, because I think that was part of it. I think a 12-year-old may have decided to futz with it a little bit, but for whatever reason, OBS did... Really? OBS did screw with all my settings, so it's probably going to take like 5 or 6 sound checks to get it to go correctly. Okay, Bill, I'll keep that in mind. And Boomstick, you know, I don't mind doing longer streams. I actually enjoy them largely. Especially if they're going really strong. But I'm just not feeling it tonight, to be honest. Sometimes you just gotta stick to the schedule. But if we can beat 17.5, that'll make me happy. Because I've got 13, just under 13,000 points to go, and about 15 days to get there. So I got to do at least 1,000 points a day to make my goal. Hey, Whispers. Thanks for joining. Well, to bring you up to speed, we had some really major mic issues to start out the evening, and got those largely cleared up, although it may not be perfect. And then once that, while we were dealing with the microphone problem, a global popped up, and then I just had a second global a couple minutes ago, and conversation has been kind of sparse, actually. It's been, let's see, we talked about truck driving and some Entropia stuff and Apocalypse Now. That's about it. But you know what? That's okay. Sometimes it's okay to have a quieter stream. Come on. my goal for the evening is 17,500 kill points. We're almost there. There we go. Maybe Ludius will shine upon us and I'll get one more global before this is over. What do you think? That's right, Whispers. I had an apocalyptic truck driving mic problem. That's pretty much it. That's the whole thing distilled into a nutshell. You know, I could be like Weird Al Yankovic and be driving a truck with my high heels on, but we're not. I'll take the apocalyptic truck driving mic problem. Please tell me I'm not the only Weird Al fan in the room. I think that one came from his album Running with Scissors. That was a long time ago. I think I was 14 when that came out. When did that come out? '99. I was 15. I was 15 when that came out. Okay, good. Although I don't think he's put anything out anytime recently. He had some good stuff. Apparently super down to earth too. I've talked to people who have met him and they're just like, yeah. He'll sit down at the at the diner and he'll chat with you, just like you're an old friend. So I always thought that was really cool. Now, I never appreciated Weird Al until later on. Because I had a friend who was big into Weird Al when we were really young, and I'm just like, why would I want to listen to anyone called Weird Al? And then he introduced me to Amish Paradise. And I'm like, wait a second. This is hilarious. Because you had Amish Paradise, Albuquerque, which was the weirdest. Frankly, it was basically a ballad. It was a modernized ballad because it was a story song, right? Or a song story. And it was just like it just went everywhere. Like the whole thing was random in a box. And then his Bohemian Rhapsody take was really funny. I think it was Bohemian Rhapsody. It was... Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember off the top of my head now. And then, this here Anakin guy, which of course was American Pie. My father, because I've got two dads. I've got one, my stepfather who was the trucker, well, my biological father, and I only differentiate them so you can tell the difference between the two people. American Pie is like his favorite song, and then he heard that come on and he thought it was American Pie at first, and he realized that the lyrics were all wrong. And he was like, I'm gonna kill him. Have a good night, Jay. So Boomstick, I've never played Rust. I know Serial Overdrive does. I think it's kind of an interesting game. I'm not sure it's one I'd want to play, though. It's just not my speed, I don't think. I mean, in that game, you literally start out naked. Like, no joke. You got nothing. That game is hardcore. And you gotta build yourself a shelter and acquire materials, and you gotta find weapons, and it's nuts. And then when you die, you drop all your shit. So then you gotta start over again. It's like, no thanks. Oh, and then when you log out, you just, like, sleep on the ground where you are. So, you're fodder. It's like, why would I play a game like that? To me, it's not my jam. It just isn't. You know, Fallout's one thing, and I liked the overworld PvP in Fallout. I really did. Back when, you know, it was actually good and Bethesda didn't nerf it every 5 seconds. But I think Rust is too far in the other direction. I mean, I know some people, that's what some people are into. You know what? I'm glad that there's a place for them. But it's not me. There we go. Almost there. We'll extend the video. We'll extend the live stream out just so we can make that goal of 17.5. We've only got like 5 mobs left. We're gonna go for it. Maybe Ludius will shine upon us and give us one more global to finish out the evening. Reap the chicken harvest. Ludius was driving the truck earlier. Oh. Maybe that's why everything got so chaotic for a while. You don't want a math formula driving a truck, it's just bad news. Alright, I think this is gonna be, because it's about, what, it's 9 points? 9 points per, so we got about 2 left. Okay guys, keep your fingers crossed, we got 2 left. Going for that big hit. Oh, we might have to kill another one. That's okay. Come on, we just need Ludius to smile upon us. They only have the one. Okay. I wanted to see if there's an alternative image for these guys, because some of them do. Like, this is the big bulk. There's also this variation. So, I always find it cool to find out if they've got an alternative skin. Okay, so it's 7 points per for the level 16s. I thought it was 9. That explains why I miscalculated. I think we did okay. I wouldn't say it's the best night we've had, but definitely not the worst. Sword's starting to die too. 204 strikes left. And there we are. We're over the 17.5 line. Got another strong box, although no swirly. Oh. Right there. And almost pointed straight at our destination. Hey Via. Glad you could make it, but unfortunately you caught the very tail end of it. Did pretty good though. 2 globals. We're up to 17,500 of 30,000 long tooth kill points. That's really what I'm aiming for this year, is to just finish out the Iron Mission. So I'll be back out here on Tuesday. As you all know, I still stream Tuesdays and Fridays. It'll be from 9 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time. I really want to thank everyone who came and joined me today. You know, your support is huge. Please do me a favor, if you haven't yet, hit the like button, because that tells YouTube that y'all like what I'm doing. And I am looking forward to seeing you in the next one. I also want to give a shout out to my patrons, Red Kryptonite, Jason Lambertson, and Citizen Gaming. Your support is just huge. So I really appreciate, or I think it's actually Game Citizen. I'm sorry, man. I think I messed up your tag. No, that's the wrong app. Game Citizen. Game Citizen. I'm sorry, man. I messed up your tag. So, just a huge shout out to those three for supporting the channel, and for all of you who are, especially all of you who are here every single week. I really appreciate all the support you give. It's just huge. So, are we going to materialize, or we get stuck in the ether? Come on, Icarus, load up for me, bud. There we go. Alright guys, and with that, thank you for watching, thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe down below. We are on the road to 13 million subscribers, one subscription at a time, so make sure you subscribe. Guys, thank you so much. It's been a pretty decent evening, technical difficulties aside, and I'm looking forward to seeing you all on Tuesday. Have a good night.